what are the phases of the moon in its new crescent, quarter, gibbous, full? So here we go. We'll make a P for phases. What are the phases? And a C for the moon. The phases of the moon are new, we cover our face, crescent, quarter, gibbous, and full. And we'll use the song Bad New Moon Rising by Clearwater Revival. Here we go. What are the phases of the moon? New crescent, quarter, gibbous, full. These are the phases of the moon. New crescent, quarter, gibbous, full. Some other bodies in our solar system are asteroids. We make an A, and then M for meteoroid, and then meteorites, they hit the planet, and then comets. So again, what are some other bodies in our solar system? Some other bodies in our solar system are asteroids, meteoroids, meteorites, and comets. I'm going to do it to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. What are some other bodies in our solar system? Asteroids, meteoroids, meteorites, and comets. These are some other bodies in our solar system. Asteroids, meteoroids, meteorites, and comets. These are some other bodies in our solar system. Asteroids, meteoroids, meteorites, and comets. What are some names of U.S. space missions? And then we'll say some names of U.S. space missions are MAGS, M for Mercury, A for Apollo, G for Gemini, and S for Shuttle. And we'll use a song from Perry Grip, Space Unicorn. So here we go. What are some names of U.S. space missions? Mercury, Apollo, Gemini, and Shuttle. These are some names of U.S. space missions. Mercury, Apollo, Gemini, and Shuttle. These are some names of U.S. space mission. There's our astronaut. What are the states of matter? Are solid, and we'll make a rock. Liquid, we'll act like we're drinking. Gas, we'll blow it away from our nose. And plasma, we'll do it like an explosion. To the tune of Come and Get Your Love. So here we go. What are the states of matter? Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. These are the states of matter. Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Hey. What are the states of matter? Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. What are the states of matter? Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. These are the states of matter. Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Hey, hey, hey. What are the states of matter? Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. What are two forms of energy? And that's potential and kinetic. So here we go. What are two forms of energy? Two forms of energy are potential, kinetic. What are two forms of energy? Two forms of energy are potential, kinetic. What is Newton's first law of motion? Newton's first law of motion states that an object at rest tends to remain at rest, and an object in motion tends to continue moving in a straight line at constant speed unless an outside force acts upon it. These are Newton's three laws of motion. These are Newton's three laws of motion. What is Newton's second law of motion? Newton's second law of motion states that force equals mass times acceleration. What is Newton's third law of motion? Newton's third law of motion states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. These are Newton's three laws of motion. What is the first law of thermodynamics? And we're going to use a song called Hot, 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 because that reminds me of thermo is hot. So I will ask the question, what is the first law of thermodynamics? And we will say, The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Boom! It cannot, not. The second law of thermodynamics. And we're going to do, the signs are often called, we're going to make a phone call, often called the law, L, of entropy. The second law of thermodynamics, make a T, explains, just like evangelize, explains, and then Y, heat flows from an area, make an A, and it goes area of higher temperature to an area of lower temperature. We're going to use the song I Second That Emotion by Smokey Robinson. Here we go. What is the second law of thermodynamics? Ready? Often called the law of entropy, the second law of thermodynamics explains why heat flows from an area of higher temperature to an area of lower temperature. Why heat flows from an area of higher temperature to an area of lower temperature. The word impossible as our memory tool because it's impossible to reach the state of absolute zero temperature. So we're going to use the theme to Mission Impossible. So here we go. What is the third law of thermodynamics? The third law of thermodynamics explains that it is impossible to reach a state of absolute zero temperature. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do it again. What is the third law of thermodynamics? The third law of thermodynamics explains that it's impossible to reach a state of absolute zero temperature. Dun, 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 dun. What are some ways light is observed? We'll use Toby Mac and Holland to help us out by Light Shine Bright Tune. And for reflection, we'll look in a mirror, and then we will refract it. We'll push it away. Then we're going to do spectrum. Spectrum's like a rainbow. And then we will wave, and then we'll look at the little tiny particle. And the song is Light Shine Bright. So here we go. What are some ways light is observed?
Reflection, reflection, spectrum, wave, particle.
These are some ways light is observed. Reflection, refraction, spectrum, wave, particle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Light shine bright. Light shine bright. How does heat flow? We're going to use the song from the Heat Miser. And when we get to the part for radiation, we'll act like radioactive. We did earlier. We will do act like conductor for conduction, and convection, we'll just make a C. So we'll do the song from the Heat Miser. Here we go. This is how heat flows. This is how heat flows. How does heat flow? By radiation and conduction and convection. This is how heat flows. By radiation, conduction, and convection. This is how heat flows. This is how heat flows. Ba-dum, bum, bum. Units are used to measure electricity. And we're going to have a vowel to help us, the mnemonic vowel, to help us in our song. So the A, we'll make an A for amps, measures current. Then we'll do a V for volts, which measures voltage. We'll put our plug in the wall and get electric. Ohms, we'll make an O, and ohms measures resistance. So we'll resist. And finally, watts, we're going, watts, measures power. We're going to show off our guns. And we're going to use the song from Queen, Anybody Find Me Somebody to Love. A vowel can tell me what units are used to measure electricity. Amps measure current. Volts measure voltage. Ohms measure resistance. Watts measures power. Amps measure current. Volts measures voltage. Ohms measure resistance. Watts measures power.